Right now, you're probably not bored. You have a phone in your pocket and more entertainment available than any human in history could have imagined. But something strange happens when the power cuts out or you're sitting in a waiting room with no signal. You don't know what to do with yourself. You feel a low-level panic, a restlessness most people today describe as almost unbearable. That feeling is one of the most important feelings in human history, because for 300,000 years, your ancestors were bored. Genuinely, deeply, unavoidably bored. And what they did with that boredom built everything. In 2014, psychologists at the University of Virginia put participants alone in a room with nothing to do. No phones, no books, nothing. They could sit quietly with their thoughts or press a button that delivered a mild electric shock to themselves. 67% of men chose the shock. They would rather hurt themselves than sit alone with nothing happening. And here's the part nobody quotes. Before the session, every single participant said they enjoyed thinking quietly. Every one of them believed they'd be fine. Almost none of them lasted 6 minutes. That's how far we've drifted from our own minds. Your ancestors had no choice. A hunter-gatherer's day had structure, but it also had enormous stretches of nothing. Richard Lee, who spent years with the Kung Bushmen of the Kalahari, calculated that adults worked roughly 15 hours per week. Everything else was open time. No agenda, no notifications, just hours with no particular shape. And here is what that open time does to a brain. In 2001, neuroscientist Marcus Raichle at Washington University noticed something nobody expected. When participants were given no task to perform, a specific network of brain regions didn't go quiet. It lit up. The brain was more active at rest than during focused work. Raichle called it the default mode network. It activates when you stop attending to the outside world. It's responsible for daydreaming, for imagining futures that don't exist yet, for creative insight, for the kind of thinking that doesn't look like thinking at all. The thing that activates it is the exact thing we've eliminated from modern life: boredom. Psychologist Sandy Mann found something counterintuitive. Participants who performed intensely boring tasks before a creative exercise significantly outperformed those who went straight to the creative task. The boredom had primed the mind, forced it inward. And in that inward space, ideas formed that couldn't have formed any other way. Boredom is not the absence of thought. It is the condition under which certain kinds of thought become possible. For 300,000 years, human minds spent enormous time in exactly this state. Not every waking moment was survival. There were hours every day when the work was done and the mind was left to run. And what came out was not nothing. The oldest confirmed art in the world is 45,000 years old. A cave in Sulawesi, Indonesia holds a painting of a pig, rendered in red ochre by someone who planned it, gathered materials, and cared enough to finish it. By 40,000 years ago, humans were carving ivory figurines and crafting flutes from bird bones. None of this helped them survive. A cave painting does not catch a deer. A bone flute does not drive away a predator. They did it because their minds demanded an outlet the world wasn't providing. That is boredom. That is what boredom builds. But here is what modern life has quietly reversed. The average person picks up their phone over 2,600 times per day. Every single pickup is a message to the brain that says, stay out here, keep looking, don't go inward. And the brain, which evolved to follow stimulation wherever it goes, does exactly that. We are the first humans in history who never have to be bored. And every time you feel the earliest edge of that restlessness and reach for your phone, you interrupt the process before it begins. You never reach the ideas that live on the other side of the discomfort. The last time humans were truly bored, they invented art, music, ritual, and the foundations of every civilization that followed. We traded all of that for a screen, and most of us have no idea what we gave away.